Welcome back to Experts of Very Little on December 17th of 2025. My name is The Show. I'm here with Stony, and I am also here with Mo's Nose, who is in his room of tears, I'm going to call it. Looks like a guy up there that is hurt currently, a guy that's going to retire maybe. Oh man, how are we feeling after this week of the Chiefs, Mo's Nose?
Uh, rough week. I mean, I know it was a long shot to make the playoffs and stuff, and then it's just this Sunday was pretty much the final, just all together what's been our year.
I
Just
can I can hear it in his voice, Stony. Man,
yeah, I mean, your star quarterback hurts his knee. I mean,
he's just ripping
it's
his
just
soul.
I mean, that's not what you want to see. Not what you want to see.
Ripped his heart out, John.
He's never
Rip.
had to deal with any of this, and I love it.
No,
Finally,
I've never
no.
had to deal with it,
He's been a
John.
I'm
lifelong
talking
fan
about.
since
I'm talking
John.
about.
2019.
I'm talking about since you become a fan of the Chiefs when they drafted Patrick
Yeah,
Mahomes and they
yeah,
started winning.
since 1991, John. Yeah, sorry.
That's
I there's
exactly
a
when it was,
there
too, John.
Yeah,
there's a
yeah.
TikTok that I shared today. It
Uh,
said all you pre Mahomes fans walk into what life's been like. I love it. Football's back, baby. We're back. We're so back. And it's true. Before this, I mean, yeah, we had some good years under Alex Smith, and I know Matt Castle won the Division One year, and then Trent Green took us to the playoffs in that old game where there was not one punt between us and the Colts. But I mean, the kid just changed the whole franchise, and
it
we have dealt with an injury with him before when he dislocated his kneecap, but he came back after 2 games and was
well, I mean, since we're there, we might as well just go ahead and just rip off the band-aid. Let me find let me find it here, John. Eliminated from playoff contention, the Kansas City Chiefs. All of them are just so disappointed.
Oh,
John,
I
how many
I know
people do you think are so happy about this?
a lot of them, and I'll tell you why. Because, like I said, a lot of these
one of
people
you guys are echoing.
that no, I fixed it. A lot of these people, like I said, have not had to deal with this because there are a lot of Chief fans that came out of the closet when they started winning. So,
Ooh,
mm,
came out of the
listen,
closet.
I am 40 years old.
There's
I have been a Cowboys fan my entire life.
that
I know what it's
that's
like.
any fan base. That's
I've
any
been
fan
there.
base that starts winning. They get new fans.
Well,
That's
obviously,
any
that's what I'm
like
saying. I'm loving
how
it
many of
because
these
nobody's ever had to
Patriots
do
fans
this.
were how many of these Patriots fans were Patriots fans before Tom Brady and stuff, and then how many of them are now coming back and oh, we're good again. Like a guy I used to work with, grew up here in Oklahoma. How did he become a Patriots fan? Because he liked Tom Brady, ball ball. Ain't been a lifetime. So, but I've been a true Chiefs fan. Was
Hmm.
kind of wouldn't say born into it, but the
Die
father that
hard since
raised me,
2019.
the father that
Exactly.
raised me was a lifelong Chiefs fan. I First memory I have of the Chiefs is when sitting in one of those old straw chairs watching Joe Montana lead us some Monday Night Football.
Well,
Ben, what year was that we went to that playoff game when you were trying to talk to me and I'm like, I can't hear you so loud.
it
Was it
wasn't even
2011?
it wasn't even that bad. You were exaggerated. I could hear everything you were saying.
Yeah.
Um, well, not only did they get eliminated, John, something terrible happened.
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes tears his ACL, and there's a couple talking points on this topic alone. What's the thing you were talking about earlier, Mose?
So like when John went on live on Tuesday and I got on with him, so Mahomes popped up on the injury report about 2 or 3 weeks ago with that same knee. And they talked about it on Sunday Night Football with Houston because he scrambled and then went down and held that knee a little bit. I This is just my theory. I would not be shocked if he tore this 4 weeks ago, the ACL, and was playing through it kind of like Philip Rivers has done and other quarterbacks have done. Because, like you said a minute ago, Ben, well, that's kind of the point that his performance kind of started going downhill a little bit of compared to what he's been doing, and it does. It kind of wraps up. I mean, like I wouldn't be surprised if he tore it against Dallas.
Think so?
And well, he got hit a lot in that game. I mean, but earlier in the year he was running a lot. Well, he hasn't really ran a lot lately. And you can play through an ACL injury if you're don't have to have that explosiveness or whatever. Phil
Yeah.
Rivers did in the playoffs, almost took him to the Super Bowl with the Chargers and stuff. But I think my theory is what caused him to go out this game is that LCL popped, and that's where he went down was hurting. And then, but I will say he did not waste any time getting that
That
stuff corrected.
that was gonna be my second
That fool
storyline.
is already
Well,
starting
and here's the great thing that does it. If he comes back great, better, and goes on and wins a couple more Super Bowls, John can thank his team doctor for fixing him because that's who
Hey.
did the surgery was the Dallas Cowboys team doctor.
Wow.
But he did not waste any time. What's usually what they'll wait a month or so and then they'll get surgery because we'll hear about guys that tear their ACL in week 2 and then it's like week 7 is like, oh, they had successful surgery. Yeah, it was 24-hour swing. Like, oh, Mahomes had successful surgery today. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Now, you had mentioned a while ago, you said, well, you talked about his numbers, they've been down, and maybe he got injured and all that. But I mean, is there any
Yes.
validity to this right here?
Yes.
Because you listen, I remember whenever people were bashing Eric Bieniemy, they were like, "Oh, he ain't doing nothing. We got to get rid of Bieniemy. He's nothing. Blah blah blah. He can go on. He thinks he's better than what he is. Andy Reid's the true GOAT. Blah blah blah." But look at these numbers right here. Is there any truth to this?
Yes, because let me find out. When did Matt Nagy go to the Bears? Because he was with the Chiefs first, and then he went to the Bears to become the head coach. And then that's when we gave Eric Bieniemy the job. And I'm pretty sure, yeah, 2018. So he was coach of the Bears in 2018 until he came back 2021, but he wasn't the OC. So if you remember with Alex Smith, there's always things like, oh yeah, offense has something to be left desirable. Like, I mean, hey, like, yeah, it's not bad, but it's something. It's not as sexy as it should be, as sexy as we remember an Andy Reid offense being. And I think there's no. I mean, look at those points and total yards rankings that we were under EB. A lot of people didn't like him because he was a disciplinary and held people accountable, stuff like that. And I think that's part of the reason why he ain't got a head coaching job and has kind of been bouncing around since he left the Chiefs, which, I wouldn't mind a reunion. Maybe not as the OC, but hey, come back and be the running backs coach and help with the game plan or whatever like that. But, Matt Nagy, I mean, I don't know. Like maybe he's just best suited being
But why were they bashing
quarterback
Bear?
coach.
Why did they bash Bieniemy so much? Is my question.
Because I don't think he's very well liked among players. I think he's a old school hard nosed coach, and I don't think he's very liked by players. And I think that has something to do with the reason why he's not got a head coaching opportunity.
I don't know, John. What do you think?
Well, I mean, there were several reports while he was there in Kansas City that the one thing that they didn't like was how he talked to the players and how he treated them, blah, blah, blah. But it at the end of the day, it was all holding these children accountable, on and off the field. And, some of his hard-nosed, disciplinarian ways is 100%. I mean, that's come out as to why he's not gotten a head coaching position. But, I mean, you look at this, Eric Bieniemy, when he was in Kansas City, there was no doubt who the best offensive coordinator was in the league. It didn't matter who had the number one offense, who, that was a juggernaut. I mean,
What
couldn't
should help
stop him.
that? Mahomes is the best quarterback in the game in the last 10 or so years. But
I thought it was Dak.
he's a running back. He's a running back. He's a running back coach. He liked to give the ball to the running back. He schemed stuff, and it helps out because I sent you another thing, Ben. We haven't had 1,000-yard rusher since 2017.
That's
Like,
wild.
Well, I
And
mean,
so
you got
like,
to think too. I mean, even when Bieniemy was there and he was your OC, yes, he ran the ball, but you guys had 2 and 3, sometimes 4 running backs in a game that would rush for 20 plus yards. I mean, you'd have
mhm.
140 yards on the ground as a team, but they'd all be split up, between 3 or 4 guys.
Yeah.
And
No, the run offense was a lot better than it was then. It's just this. I think a lot of it is a scheme, and we can talk about that. Like I think that is besides getting Mahomes healthy. I think that is the number one thing the Chiefs need to change in the offseason is it needs to be a system wide somatic change. I
Mhm.
keep Spags. I love Spags. Okay, but we got to do some. We got to change the offensive scheme. We got to get the running backs more involved. We got to get these receivers easier routes and open, like because sometimes it just looks like, hey, we got stud receivers, but we're not doing anything to
Mhm.
get them open. Like, I mean, hey,
Yeah.
we're running crossers, great. We're just running crossers, good job. But how about let's push the ball deep? And I think that's where a lot of people are upset with Nagy.
Well, and
Beginning of the year, we were pushing the ball down the field. That kind of went away after week 5.
Mhm.
We kind of went away. Like, and that's where hey, they're not pushing the ball down the field again. And then there's no threat of the run game. Well, one time our offense looked great against the Colts. We had a 100-yard rusher and a 100-yard receiver. Well, it's because we committed to running the ball. Well, next thing you know, Rasheed Rice is getting 1-on-1 and he's beating the guys. I mean, so we
Well,
ran the ball 30. We ran the ball
well,
30 something times, and then
that's one
boom.
thing. I mean, obviously with the offense, I've said it, we've talked about whether it be high school, college, pro, whatever, you have to be able to run the ball to be able to pass the ball, and it's vice versa. If you can't run the ball, sorry, your passing game is not going to be effective. And that's one thing where you see teams, well, or offensive coordinators, coaches, whatever, like Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson, he does a little bit of everything. When he was in Detroit, he had, I mean, obviously 3 running backs at one time that could do a little bit of everything with Jamal Williams and Monty and then Gibbs. But then now he goes to Chicago and he's doing the same thing with Swift and the new or the rookie. He's absolutely killing it too. But that's like Schottenheimer, what he's done with, um, Williams. He's revitalized his career, but it's the scheme. You have to be able to run. Um, to pass, and you have to be able to pass to run, and it's all in the whole scheme in itself. And Bieniemy is
so
one of the best at it.
okay, but all I remember being told was it was all Andy Reid, and Eric Bieniemy was just a placeholder.
Well,
Well,
yeah, because they're gonna give
it's
Andy
It's
Reid his
Andy's
roses.
offense. It's Andy's offense. It is. But Andy, I don't think he calls the plays like he used to anymore. I mean, he might call the plays. I don't know. Last I checked, is I think he was, but I think like Eric Benelli, or I know I just butchered his last name, but he was 100% involved in the offense. Like they were working together. Like an EB was calling the plays. He was calling the plays.
EB was?
Now, yes. I mean, there's plenty of times you'll go on the screen and he's holding the dang card over his mouth and he's the one calling the plays. Well, anytime Mahomes is coming over, who was he talking to? EB and them and stuff like that. So like,
Huh.
there's 2 guys. I would love to have EB back, if it's as offensive coordinator or if it's just back on the staff, being back involved in the offensive game plan. But there's 2 guys I think you need to go get. You need to bring Mike Kafka back as your quarterback coach, which is the interim head coach of the Giants right now. Bring him back as assistant OC quarterbacks coach. And then he's a hometown guy, and he is the pass game coordinator for the Rams right now, Nate Shieldhouse. Bring him in, make him pass game coordinator / OC or whatever. Get EB, him, Kappa in with Andy Reid. You get Mahomes involved in it and just reinvent that offense, rebuild it, and go back to scoring where you're going to have to score 30 plus to beat them.
So you do have something to look forward to. Tom Brady in the NFL season 8, going for his 4th ring, loses in the Super Bowl. Patrick Mahomes in NFL season 8, going for his 4th ring, loses in the Super Bowl. Tom Brady in season 9 tears ACL. Team misses playoffs. Hey, Mosley, who was he tore his ACL against? I forget.
Kansas City.
Yeah, it was.
Brutal hit.
It was
Bernard
because
Pollard went low.
I drafted him that year. I refused to draft Tom Brady in fantasy, and I drafted him with my
So-
first pick that year and got
So-
absolutely burned.
So that Tom Brady injury, it set a lot of motions in effect that have intertwined with the Patriots and the Chiefs. Okay, Tom Brady goes out because he gets hit low against the Chiefs. That changes the rule a little bit on the quarterback play because Tom Brady just came off an MVP season, big time numbers. Well, who steps in for Tom Brady? Matt Castle leads them to 11-5 record, almost makes a playoff. Well, what's that translate to? The Chiefs signed him to a freaking massive contract, and we have 1 year of success and puts us behind the ball a couple years. But that ends up leading us to hiring Andy Reid later on
Yeah,
and developing. So
it's
but when you-
almost
but-
like it's almost like
it's kind of scary how canny similar this is.
it is, and it's crazy that Matt Castle did so well with the Patriots, and then he came over and didn't do great with a team that wasn't as good as the Patriots. It's almost like you needed a team to win.
Hold
Am
on.
I right, John?
Yeah,
Oh, that's right.
he was in a really good
Really good
maybe?
situation. Great
Yeah.
situation.
Yeah.
Great situation.
It helps they had Randy Moss and stuff. So
It-
from
it
that
does.
thing, all you gotta do is tell me that we got 4 more Super Bowls coming to us. So
Yeah,
Okay.
so this is the first postseason that will be without either the GOAT, Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, or Patrick Mahomes since 1998.
Finally.
Wow.
it's unbelievable. Well,
That is
we
wild.
might-
How young
we
you
might-
are there.
We might have an AFC playoffs without Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, Lamar's going to win it all.
I did say the number one quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah, you could. Everything's bleak right now for the Kansas City Chiefs and the fans and Dallas Cowboy fans, but you could always be in a worse situation, and you could be the Arizona Cardinals franchise. They have been around since 1920, and they've only made the playoffs 11 times in 106 seasons, which means with their elimination, the Cardinals extended their record for least playoff appearances at only 11 out of 105 seasons. What? What is the percentage of that?
Golly.
That's just bad.
God.
Like, so Arizona, among fans or whatever, and maybe it's talked about more on the West Coast. But when we talk about worst franchises, you always hear about the Bengals and the Browns and stuff, the Lions for a longer time. Arizona is probably keep talking about them, because look at us. I only remember them making the playoffs a few times with Carson Palmer. They made it with
Larry
Kurt Warner.
Fitzgerald, yeah.
Kyler Murray made it a couple years ago. Kurt Warner and then made it to the Super Bowl. Carson Palmer and then Jake Plummer back in the day, they made it. But other than that, I don't know how the ownership feels. Maybe they're just happy owning the team and making some money or whatever. But it's just but this kind of goes to show that.
Listen,
you
and
need a
I thought
franchise
being a
quarterback.
Dallas Cowboy fan was bad.
I'm telling you.
I don't feel so bad. I feel kind of good. We've almost got half of the rings, 5 rings, 11 times they've been in the playoffs. I mean, hey.
So I mean that's a pretty mind-blowing stat there. This just popped up today. What do you think about this? Tua Tagovailoa said, "I am not happy about it, but it's something out of my control." He is getting benched for Quinn Ewers.
It's
Thoughts?
about time.
I
so?
think. I mean, they got it. I don't know if it's necessarily. Oh well, we're moving on from him. I think it's they're eliminated from the playoffs.
See what we
They're
have.
seeing if what Quinn Ewers has that's going to help them make the decision. Do we bring Tua back or we move on from Tua? Like me and John talked about it the other day. Like if the Eagles win on Saturday, he said Cowboys need to go ahead and see what they got with some of these other kids. Like same thing. I think you're going to see that with the Chiefs. We're going to start playing some of these guys. Maybe it's time to shut Xavier Worthy down for the year. Let him go have a shoulder surgery. Let's play Jalen Royals, a guy that we spent a 4th round pick on. See if he has anything in the tank. I mean, so I think this has more to do with them being eliminated, and the franchise has nothing to play for again for the rest of the year. So now they're going to bench him, okay? Because they paid him a contract, okay? Do we want to continue to go with him, or let's give Quinn Ewers a chance? We'll see what he has, see what we have in him, and maybe that's the route we go is Quinn Ewers, and we take this money and move it elsewhere. But I'm glad this happened because you know who didn't get that starting job when we got freaking toasted about Zach Wilson. You know who's still the
He
backup?
gone.
Zach freaking Wilson ain't even getting the starting job when they're bitching to it. So all the people that wanted to say, "Oh, is Zach Wilson the best on the list?" JJ McCarthy's 2-0, eliminated the Dallas Cowboys pretty much. He's 2-0 since you guys all came at us about Zach Wilson, and Zach Wilson can't even get a start on a team that's eliminated from the playoffs.
How am
So
I
thank you,
catching
Zach.
strays? How am I catching strays? Why do you have to jab me in the heart about my Dallas Cowboys?
Oh, or the defending JJ McCarthy. So
Man,
all you Zach Wilson fans, take that. That tells you what anybody thinks about Zach
Hey,
Wilson.
he
Sorry.
might be
They
good
did.
at
They went
one
in on
thing,
us.
but it's not being a quarterback. Okay, I'm just gonna leave it at that.
He's a stud. Yeah, those guys who get them older women.
That's
I'll
what
tell
she
you
said.
what, Mosby.
Yeah.
I've got to go on a rant here. I've got to go on a rant. Okay. All right. The Carolina Panthers are the most that they still don't know how to win. They're not a winning franchise. And the only way I can equate to that, or only way I can explain this, is the New Orleans Saints aren't great. Now, New Orleans Saints have messed around and beat some people and kept it close with some people. But whenever you're in the playoff hunt and you play a team twice, you split with them at least. And just the greatest example of not knowing what a winning franchise is, or being a winning franchise, is not coming out with a victory on Sunday versus the Saints when you were up 17-0 or 17-10, mind you. It was absolutely disgusting to watch. There was 2 times, and they were going to talk about the defense. The defense playing great basically the whole game. But if you are that good of a defense, or you're that good of a team, you do not allow a team to make 2 massively long drives and win in regulation. They let them do it twice at the very end. You just don't do it. You're not a winning franchise if you don't know how to shut that down and win, because you're sitting there, have been given a gift by the Falcons, sitting there beating the Buccaneers, gave you a gift. They allowed you to win on Sunday to make it to where all you had to do was win this Sunday, and you are in the playoffs. That's unacceptable. I'm absolutely not happy about it, because now our chances of actually making it are very slim, because now you got to beat the Buccaneers twice. And I'm not sure of all the scenarios and everything, but basically in my mind, you got to beat the Buccaneers twice. So this graphic right here says the Panthers have lost 12 straight games when they were favored. Again, winning organizations win when they're favored, right? What's the saying? Good teams win, great teams cover, right?
Yeah.
Do you know what that means? That means every time for the past 4 years, when fans were feeling hopeful, felt like the team was heading in the right direction, felt like they could expect a positive outcome, they lose. Now you're looking at this. The 2 dudes that we sat there and had on the team at the same exact time, this is the only 2 dudes that are standing in our way in the playoffs. Now, I'll say this. Sam Darnold's not playing well right now, but the Seahawks are good. Okay?
Yep.
Sam Darnold's not playing well, but the Seahawks are good. Baker Mayfield having to beat him twice. I know the Buccaneers are not playing well, but we're not talking about a team. We're talking about the Carolina Panthers right now.
Mhm.
We're not talking about a team that's sitting there. We're sitting there going, oh, my God, they have a chance. Carolina Panthers are absolute coin flip right now. That's all they are. They'll go out there and beat the Rams and just beat the Packers at Lambeau, and you're like, oh my gosh, this team's turned a corner. Wow, and then lose to the Saints twice. You know, you don't know what they are, and so now you're sitting there going, okay, now we have Mayfield, Darnold, and Mayfield, and we have to beat. I think the odds were like beat 2 of them. Win 2 of the games.
I think here's what I think is going to happen is I think they're going to sweep the Buccaneers and get in.
I don't think so.
I think it's going to happen.
Now, I did pick them to win this week. I don't know why. I had no There is nothing confident in me, and there's nothing that I can sit there and pinpoint and tell you that this is
So if they
why they're
win,
going to win.
if they win this week, and then they lose next week, and Buccaneers win next week, who the Buccaneers play? They beat Miami, and then so you will be tied 8-8, and you will be ahead of them going into that last game, and then that last game, you will, if you win. I would say you beat the Seahawks, but lose to the Buccaneers the last game. You will not be in, even though you will go 9-8. So that means Carolina or Tampa Bay would have a. So if you split with Tampa Bay, you're not in. And that Seattle game does not matter.
That's what I'm
You
saying.
need to beat Tampa Bay both games to get in, because if you split but beat Seattle and still go 9-8,
Ain't happening.
Tampa Bay goes 9-8. Tampa Bay's in.
Ain't happening.
Now let's change some
Evans
of
looked
these
freaking
matchups.
good.
Yep.
Evans
Let's go
looked
here
real
and pick.
Yes, he did.
Go here and pick some of these matchups to see if the divisional thing
I'm just-
changes.
I'm just saying you screwed up. You lose to the Saints twice. That's just unacceptable for a team that's wanting to turn the corner and wanting to. It's just unacceptable. I don't care. It's just. And I don't know if you guys I don't know if you watched the game or not, but let me give an example. Okay. Now there were some calls that people I went back and saw that people are saying, well, the officiating said they messed up and blah, blah, blah. Okay, whatever. But for example, one of them was a partial slide by Bryce Young that they came in and hit us late and they didn't throw a flag. And then later on at the end of the game, he slid and we hit him and they threw a flag, which moved him closer. They was able to get the game winning field goal. Okay, whatever. But that's beside the point. But here's the thing. That last hit that we hit their quarterback and we're running up, okay? You can't tell me that as a player, as a defender, if you're experienced enough that you're running up and you see the quarterback running straight up the middle to get some yardage, okay? Mm-hmm. And then you can't tell me you're running right at him and you don't expect him to slide, right? Am I wrong? You expect him to slide. So then you go in and you lower yourself to go in to make a hit. What do you think's going to happen? Of course, the Saints quarterback, like he was hurt, looked like James Harden out there playing quarterback. He flopped and did all this stuff.
SGA,
merchant. But that's what I'm saying. Like a winning organization, experienced player would have known, like, ooh, okay, he's going to slide here. Okay, I'm not going to go all the way in. I'm going to run up on him, and if he slides, I'm good. I'm going to break off. Now, I'm not saying I completely agree with the call. It was probably the right call. They did not call on Bryce Young earlier, which I thought they should have. Okay, but that's beside the point. You shouldn't even be in that situation. You should have won that game. And we're sitting here talking about now we win on Sunday and you're in. But what can you do? I mean, it's just you're not a winning organization yet. You've got to learn how to do that.
Saints might have a little bit of a future.
I think their quarterback's not bad.
No,
yeah,
he's
Kellen Moore.
People.
So they rebuild a couple of those positions, maybe offensive line, running back, and they may not be too bad.
No.
Yeah. So anyway, that's kind of what I saw. I don't know if you guys even watched the game, if you saw anything else.
They're still like you said, they don't know how to win, and that is because if you win those type of games. I mean, but they say good teams win and great teams cover, which that's kind of went away from that because now it's like great teams win the close ones. I mean, like Denver right now, you could say is the best team in the AFC because they've won all their close games. Chiefs last year, best team in the AFC because they won all their close games. Yeah. The story of the Chiefs this year is they didn't win their close games. So, and that's the type of game, one score game right there for the Panthers. that, if you want to be a playoff team, you want to get over that hump and get in the tournament. Those are games that you got to win, because those one-score games. Yeah, I mean, it's like I said, if and what's or candy and nuts, it will be a sweeter place. You reverse all one-score games for the Chiefs. They're the best team in the NFL record-wise. I mean, but I'm sure Carolina, they got some one-score games. You flip those, they've already had the division clinched. I mean, so.
Here's what it is, but I'll tell you what. At the beginning of the year, I said what 8-9. 8-9 would be an incredible year, and we're on that path.
Hey,
so,
you're in a better position than me and John, because your team can still lose one more game and still make the playoffs. My team's already eliminated. John's is holding on by a thread, and I love it.
Didn't we just like the last month on these videos? All we heard from John was, "I could guarantee you we're in the playoffs. There's no, I don't see a path where we don't make the playoffs."
It was just 2 weeks ago. We asked him to put his confidence level on these games. I'm 100% confident.
I think we're going to beat everybody.
I told you guys in week 4 I was speaking out of my butt then, but I'm going to tell you right now, I've never been more confident that we are making the playoffs. We are making the playoffs.
And that defense is still not what they need to be. Isn't that right? Man.
JJ McCarthy looked like the best quarterback in the league.
Well, it made him look like Fran Tarkenton, for crying out loud.
Woo, boy.
So yeah, I don't think any of our teams are making the playoffs. I'll be honest with you. I think the Buccaneers will beat us.
Hey, the good thing about all this is, supposedly Mr. Undefeated in the division and the best team in the NFL is the first one.
Oh, that's okay. That's fine. But we still got you. Just 2 weeks ago, I've never been more confident. I've never been more confident.
When me and you even mentioned the Broncos or Chargers.
Oh,
you remember how quickly you missed it?
They're not even the best team in the division. They ain't even going to make the playoffs.
He missed it so quick, and I was like, I think they're good. I think they're
good. Chiefs season has been just weird, summed up. But what? How one AFC executive explained it, and I talked to John about it the other day on the live, and it's kind of true. He said, "Man, they've looked tired." He said, because the talent's on that team, they just look tired. And you think about it, okay, 3 straight Super Bowls, okay, that's deep runs in the playoffs. You've been to 5 and 7 years. They played in the last 4 years. They played 81 games, almost an extra season. Hey, yeah. Well, John, what's your excuse on the Cowboys? Let's shut it up. Time to read. I know. We can go back on videos. I said maybe about a month. About a month ago. Maybe it wouldn't be the worst thing for us to miss the playoffs.
Hey, John, you remember whenever Chargers beat them real early? Was that week 1 they beat them? And we went,
they in trouble.
All we heard then was
game of the
Chargers lost their offensive lineman. Chargers are hurt. Chargers this, Chargers that, and then.
I still don't think the Chargers are going to make a run in the playoffs this year. So.
And I think we said that the Chargers and the Broncos would both finish above them in the division.
Listen, those Broncos fans are fiery, boy.
Well, hey, guess what? Broncos enjoy it because you were not the team coming out of the AFC this year. Sorry about it. It's not you. It's I'm feeling good about Houston.
Bronco fans, they went bonkers on you, man.
Good for them. Yeah, you got 3 Super Bowls in your history. Mahomes got 3 in the last 7 years, baby.
Well, I want to show you guys. I want to show you guys this, and hopefully we have some viewers that are going to make some comments here because I want to get their opinions too. But I saw this, and this is again, this is fantasy sports to a T. And basically, on this graphic, it says, "What are your thoughts on this cheating?" And it says, 2 players in my league benched all their players to force a tie and eliminate me from the playoffs. I have tried to explain this is cheating and collusion, but they think they are being smart. I need help with what you think. What do you guys think here? I'm trying to break this down.
Okay, so on the collusion part, I mean, I can understand that, like two people working together, like John and his brother try to work together on some of these trades in baseball and stuff. Like John's brother won't make a freaking trade in baseball, and the next thing you know, he gets like three done with John. That's the only person he trades with. I can see where he's coming on part on that, but then the other side of these two dudes, I'm more on the sides of these two dudes because I'm gonna be honest with you. This is something I would do to John. This is something I would do to my brother, my cousin, probably even our friend Guy the barber. This is something I would do to almost everybody in the freaking league. Like we had a guy in our fantasy league a couple years ago was upset that we vetoed this trade, and he asked me why I didn't. I said because you're one of the better teams. I can't let you get a quarterback, and that's the whole reason why I veto it.
So,
I veto almost every freaking trade. Like I love this. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. If you
no,
do not have a rule set up in your league in the beginning of the year that says you have to play at least one player every week, no matter what, there's nothing. I don't think there's anything wrong with it.
it's just
No.
like when you bench your pitchers in baseball. But
Who does that?
yeah, but I don't
Not you,
completely
90
agree.
innings a week.
I don't completely agree with um, you on vetoing every trade. That's something you do. I don't do that. Well, I don't veto any trades because I'm the commissioner and I want people to get all mad. But I wouldn't veto trades unless I just think it's absolutely terrible. But
How
my
about
on this
hey
graphic,
on that on vetoing every trade? I veto my own trades that are accepted.
yeah. So I that
Every
doesn't make any
I
sense to
just
me.
let
But
veto.
that's just anyway.
Hey, listen,
But
this is straight fantasy football. It's called strategy.
Okay, so that's where I'm at on
Yeah.
this. I'm sitting there going, okay, this guy's trying to make a big deal about wanting to explain to these people that it's cheating and collusion. But what I'm reading out of this is if I'm going to assume these two teams, if they tie, they both get in the playoffs.
they
But
both
Yeah,
this
get in the
that's
guy,
what it is.
playoffs.
Yeah.
this guy is like, but I won't.
What
What's
probably
what's the
happens
problem?
is they needed one of these. So one of these two guys that they lost were probably not going to make it through the playoffs if this other guy won, and they probably see like, hey, if we tie, we make the playoffs. We finish better than him, and they might see that his team is getting hot. He's getting some players back, and this dude that got left out of the playoffs, he might have just started 0-4. No one thought about it. Well, now he might be on a hot streak and scoring the most points. Or like, hey, let's keep him out of the playoffs. Like, hey, if we tie, this, kind of situation came up a couple years ago with the Raiders and Chargers that if they would have just tied, they both would have made the playoffs.
Oh, I remember watching that game too.
And like everybody thought they were just going to come to a tie or whatever, and I think
Mhm.
it didn't happen. And I was it the Chargers or the Raiders that ended up not
Somebody
making the
kicked a
playoffs?
field goal.
Someone kicked a field goal and it knocked one of them out of the playoffs. And they're like, well, if you'd have just came to a tie or whatever. Well, I mean, and they would have knocked another team out of the playoffs. Would that other team would have grafted? No. Like they would have said, no, it is what it is. We put ourselves in this
I,
position. That's what I got to say to this guy. You shouldn't have put yourself in a position to be eliminated in the last week of the season.
Yeah.
well, that's what I'm like. I'm sitting there going, okay, but it's it. Well, first of all, I worry about my team. I'm looking at the best interest of my team. I could care less about somebody else's team. If you can sit there and tell me and guarantee me if we bench our guys and we've already did all the math, if we bench our guys and we tie, that I am in the playoffs no matter what. But if I don't bench my players and I lose, I'm out of the playoffs. That's where I'm like, where's the problem? Because then I'm like, I know I can get in the playoffs if I bench my guys. However, if this was a situation where the other guy, let's say I was already in, and the other guy was like, hey, you're already in. Hey, let's bench our players and we tie, and then I can get in the playoffs too. That's where I'm like, okay, I don't
So
know.
how would you two feel if you were the guy that got shut out of the playoffs?
Oh, I would be mad. I'd be like, God dang it. But I would also go, pretty good
Oh,
strategy.
I'd probably say some bad words and towards these guys, but at the end of the day, it's my own fault.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and depending on the league, if it's the league I was already won out of, I might be like, you know what, I'm out. But if it's our home league, I'd be like,
You
oh,
know the
you
you know the
jerks.
one thing Ben will never have to worry about it because the dude's always first or second well, let's be real, first in everything we do. So
Not guillotine. I got eliminated. I got chopped. So better luck next year.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's that. Big news here on the well, for Arkansas football, but really for Veneta, Oklahoma. Noah Franklin, graduate of 2005, has been named the head strength and conditioning coach of an SEC program, the Arkansas Razorbacks. Congratulations, Noah. That's some big
Big
time
big
that's
time.
huge,
stuff there.
huge.
Big time.
What's funny is I think he got at our prom, he got voted most likely to be a millionaire or something. Well, he's
I
getting
mean,
On his way.
he's definitely close.
so. But anyway, he's a great dude. It couldn't happen to a better guy. Like a
Absolutely.
gentle giant. I haven't talked to him in a while. He stopped by when I was coaching, still coaching at Veneta, and he stopped by the hitting facility when he came and visited his family, and stopped by and chatted a little bit. That's the last time I saw him. But he's been at Memphis, but this is just big time. He's getting closer to home, and super proud of Noah, man. Super proud of Noah.
Yeah, that's I remember I was always one of the smaller ones walking to the hall in high school. It didn't matter. He was a year under me, but towered over everybody. I mean, you could tell. Looks like the strength and conditioning coach is living in the gym. My goodness.
Yeah, he's he's a dude, man.
Oh,
He's a
this
dude.
it's an SEC job. If he does well here, and even if that coach has to move on or whatever, he might. If he does well, he might be able to make a life of going to these bigger programs, staying with them.
Well, I mean, now keep in mind, like
I know what
after
you're gonna
graduating Oklahoma State, he signed on a couple teams as on the undrafted free agent, but I think he started his first year in the NFL in the Raiders organization as
Did.
strength and conditioning coach.
Did.
So he's already had a big job. He left Raiders to go to Memphis, I believe, and has been there for several years. So
Yeah. And so here's the thing. I've even thought about this, and I don't want you to get big head here, John, but one of the best head strength and conditioning coaches in America is it Glass at Oklahoma State.
we just fired him.
Smitty.
You
Rob
fired
Glass.
him?
Rob Glass
He,
did not get
the-
retained onto the staff.
The new coach is cleaning house up there.
Absolutely.
Wow.
From
La-
top
la-
to bottom.
last, that's what I say. Last I heard, there may not be one assistant carried over.
Well, so because Cooper Bassett was there, he was the offensive line coach, gone. Tylan Wallace, who's wide receiver for the Ravens, his twin brother Trayson, who was supposed to be the best one out of the two, ended up freshman year getting hurt, had to quit football. He's been a wide receiver coach there for Oklahoma State for several years. Well, obviously, Oklahoma State has produced several big time receivers. Well, Trayson Wallace is no longer not retained. Rob Glass is the only one that I thought that would be retained and was not.
Dude, wasn't he making like the most? He was one of the
He
highest.
was one of the highest ones, or if not the highest paid strength and conditioning coach in the nation.
Because they
But-
had to. That's the only way they could keep him. He had that Body by Glass program that, I mean, my Lord, the best in the country. No big head at all. I'm just calling it as it is.
Oh, I've
There's a
heard
reason
this.
why he was deemed the best in the country, and they had to pay him to keep him. Now,
Hopefully
he's gonna get a
this
job.
coach. Hopefully this coach doesn't regret it, because I remember when Lincoln Riley made his staff changes and got rid of Smitty and brought in Benny Wiley, and we're like, oh my God, it looks like it did. But OU was kind of soft in the era of Lincoln Riley, and then Venables comes back, he brings Smitty back, and
Yeah.
we're not soft anymore. So hopefully it's not a mistake by this coach and stuff like that.
One of the
But
biggest guys that he let go was Kenyatta Wright. Kenyatta Wright was part of the staff and recruiting and everything else. He's been released. He's one of the biggest Oklahoma State names there is.
this coach is starting a clean slate. And you know what this tells me by him being able to do this? This tells me that the administration told him, you do whatever you got to do. Like, if you need to cut ties of everything connected to the Gundy era, we're behind you. Like, I mean,
He brought the GM over from North Texas. He brought the strength and conditioning coach, the D-back coach, the offensive coordinator. Well, maybe. Now it seems like the OC is getting interviewed for a head coaching job. The quarterback coach, he's bringing dang near his whole staff.
bringing his guys.
Props. I mean, if it works, you ain't got to try and fix it.
Yeah.
But in his defense, he looks at it as like, it hasn't worked with these guys in OSU the last couple of years. It's worked for me with my
I don't
guys.
know
So.
when you tell Rob Glass, I'm gonna that worked, and I'm gonna leave it. But hey, more power to him.
Yeah. Well, saw this. Arch Manning returning to Texas next year. Not a huge surprise to me. I thought he would.
It's not a surprise at all.
But what do you think going into it? Do you think it's a good move? Do you think he?
I think this is
the only move.
I think it's the family told him because he's got two uncles that's been there, and hey, we've been in the NFL and stuff. I mean, the second and third best athletes in that family, because believe it or not, like John just said about Tylan Wallace's brother, everybody believes Arch's dad was the better athlete out of all three of them. He just had an injury, career-ending injury when he went to Ole Miss, because he was going to be a receiver, committed to Ole Miss and had a career-ending injury and stuff like that. But he's only been the starter for 1 year, didn't have enough playing time under Ewers in that first year or whatever. So I think this is a smart business move for them. They're probably looking at the draft like, hey, are any of these teams maybe we want to go to, blah, 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 if they don't feel comfortable with that. But you know what? What's it going to hurt? Like, I mean, unless he gets an injury, which ain't going to be hurting for money if he does. But, let's go prove that you are that guy. Let's go back to college. It ain't going to hurt you anything. Let's go develop a little bit more and stuff like that. I mean,
yeah, I mean, what as far as Texas, what do you think they're looking at next year?
About the same. I mean, going to be competing for a playoff spot.
Yeah. He showed a lot. I mean, he shows a lot of promise sometimes. Then he kind of gets really quiet. I don't know if that's to do with the offensive line situation. But he has some weapons. His running backs weren't great. Old Baxter got hurt. He transferred, I think, didn't he? C.J. Baxter.
Yeah,
he was transferring. But yeah, so this was the only move.
I think Wisner hit the portal.
Did he hit the portal too?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
and there's rumors that his head coach could leave maybe for an NFL job.
Well, that'd be crazy, wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, I saw that. I also saw this. We'll make quick work of this. James Franklin era gets a boost as an anonymous donor makes a record-setting $20 million gift to Virginia Tech Athletics. The dude's already making some waves at Vol Tech.
This goes along with him retaining the coach they just fired as his DC. Like this just tells me that they wanted James Franklin and he wasn't going to tell them no. So they're like, hey, whatever you want, look, you got, let's do it.
Yeah.
Like, hey, well, we need more money. Okay, let's go find you more money. Let's go find someone to give you more money. Let's go do it. I mean,
I like Vol Tech.
I mean, yeah, like remember Frank Beamer had them going. Like they were successful and stuff.
Beamer ball, baby.
I mean, Hayden Hooker, who helped get Josh Heupel up there at Tennessee, he was at Vol Tech for a year or two. I mean, it's not a bad job because it's not a bad recruiting ground over there. It's just, and they might got one of the best entrances to a game there is. I mean, Enter Sandman, baby. I mean,
I like
good environment. Good environment. I mean, it's not.
I like
a bad
Franklin.
job,
I like Vol Tech. I do like the fit, and it'll be fun. It'll be fun to see. Here we go with Notre Dame again. Jeremiah Love on other schools excluding Notre Dame from their schedules because they've talked about that. They don't want to play Notre Dame because we're Notre Dame. It's literally not it at all.
No,
they're not going to exclude them. I'm sorry. The ones that say, well, we can exclude them or not, because I saw comments and there was one comment on their videos like, show me another school that can be self-efficient like Notre Dame has been, without being a conference, having their own network and stuff like that, and being successful. Okay, so you put Notre Dame on your schedule because of the draw, because of the money that
Yeah.
your team will make. Like remember we went to the OU Notre Dame game that one year. How
Mhm.
packed was that place?
It's fun.
Unbelievable packed.
It was
Like
fun.
my boss has season tickets to OU. Like he like the with the SEC schedule now you having, it's unbelievable. Like I went to the OU Nebraska game with my wife a couple years ago. That place, just walking around the stadium and stuff, it was packed. That's why you put Notre Dame on your schedule.
Yeah.
That's why you put Notre Dame on your schedule. It does not matter. Well, they're not in the conference. Who cares? If you care anything about making money for your school, your athletic division, or whatever, you put Notre Dame on your conference on your schedule because that name is going to draw tickets. They're one of the only 10 teams, big name teams in college football that's going to draw attention no matter what. Going to draw TV views. You play Notre Dame, you're getting a primetime game. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
Here's my problem, though. John, I want you to harp in on this, but my problem is he's sitting here saying this as if people are intimidated to play Notre Dame. They don't want to play Notre Dame because we're Notre Dame. That's not the reason. It's
No.
the landscape of what everything is. And you're right on the draw and all that. I think I've heard a lot of flack about the 9-game SEC schedule and how that's going to have to not be a thing if they're going to throw. I just a lot of different rumblings. But what's your opinion?
I mean, the thing for me, I mean, most people now are looking towards the playoffs. Okay, what's going to get them in the playoffs? And scheduling
appreciate
Notre
is that
Dame,
plan 4, 5, 11?
Yeah, I mean, scheduling a Notre Dame early in the season's just like Texas scheduling Ohio State. Why would anybody do that at this point? Let's go get the wins, okay, in non-conference. Let's set ourselves up good, and then we're going to go into conference play, and we're going to do everything we can to win that. So the
That's
old
not how
days
these big
of
that's not how these
the
big
old days of
programs think.
stack and just hang tight. We're not talking about all these top. We're talking about all these other most of your teams because you didn't see anybody like Texas go and schedule in Ohio State. I mean, you had a couple big games, but nobody's doing that like they used to in the BCS because of the quality win playing a big part into your final ranking. You know, they're not looking. Yeah, they're using strength of schedule as part of it, but that was shown in these final rankings that is only a very, very, very small piece of the pie. That played no part in a lot of it. So why would anybody do that?
If Texas would have beat Ohio State at Ohio State, Texas would have been a top 8 seed.
And if my aunt, so on, is what
But
it is,
so
right? I mean,
those games do matter. Those games do matter. Does OU get the bye if they don't beat Michigan? Let's say we don't schedule Michigan and we schedule Eastern. We schedule East. Let's schedule. Let's say we don't schedule Michigan. We schedule Eastern Michigan. Well, Michigan ended up 9-3.
Hold on.
I mean,
we got a lifelong Vol fan here in the chat.
Yeah.
That's a Vol fan.
Oh, Tennessee. Yep, Tennessee, baby.
I mean, hey, old Rocky Top, baby. Home of the goat.
That's one of the best atmospheres in college football.
Oh, bro.
Oh.
Hey, and I'm just telling you, when you get Peyton Manning, he'll go ham. That dude will go ham.
I like
showed up this.
I know we're Sooner fans, so we've battled Tennessee and Josh Heupel there. Well, yeah, OSU fan in the middle, but the little OSU, Oklahoma State, but I like Tennessee. Even though we've battled Nate in last year when they came and they beat us, and they played Ain't No Love in Oklahoma and all that. I've always liked Tennessee.
Been there since Johnny Majors.
You know, one of my favorite national championships is what sucks for Peyton Manning is the year after Peyton Manning left, and then they ended up upsetting old Florida State with old T. Martin.
Yeah, old T. Martin, Peerless Price.
I always liked him. Yeah. But I don't like Notre Dame like Mosby does.
But you schedule big games like this, and the big teams are going to continue to schedule big games like this. They are. They're not going to change. Texas all of a sudden is not going to try to schedule an Ohio State or what. They're always going to schedule these games. OU has not changed their schedule. The only thing they changed in their schedule in the last 10 years is when they joined the SEC, they took the Georgia game away. Well, we're already in the conference with them. We don't need to play it. So the big programs are not going to change their schedule. They're going to continue to schedule these games.
Here's the thing though. If I mean, they're going to keep playing these games, but if it keeps going the way that it's going, and we mess around with whatever, I still think they're going to go to 16 teams or something. But people keep getting left out, like Texas throwing a fit, and all these teams.
And you got Notre Dame throwing a fit.
When does it? Oh yeah, well, they've added their clause where they get in. But when does it get to the point to where they're like, "Whoa, we're playing 9 SEC games. We're not scheduling anybody."
If we go back to 4 teams in the playoffs, because the bigger the playoff bracket gets, the more margin of error you have. So you can lose 3 games and be in a 16-team bracket. If we go to 24, you can lose 3 games and get a freaking bye.
I think
top seed.
I think
so. If
the
NCAA
lets that happen.
If you lower the playoff bracket, then you may not see as many of these games. But these games are more than just a big win. It goes back to what that little thing we talked about last week. What if schools funneled money to education instead of sports? You are scheduling these games and playing these games because that is funding. When you have these teams come to your town, that is funding your science program. That is funding your tuition for students, and you're able to give out these scholarships. So that is why these programs, bigger programs and stuff, are not going to stop playing these games. That's why teams like Tulsa are not going to stop going to go play Ohio State like they did a couple years ago, or go to play, because they are getting paid money to go do it. They know they're going to lose. They're going to go play their hearts out, but it's because they know the school needs the money, and that money is going to help them. And in the NIL era, the more money you make, the more money you can pay players.
Quick prediction from everybody here. In next year, how many teams are in the college football playoff?
Well, it's going to 16 already.
I think it's going to 16.
Yeah. I think we will end up seeing 24 before it's all said.
You really think so?
I think we're going to we're eventually going to go to 24.
Just to touch on what you were talking about a minute ago, where these teams are going to start saying, "Hey, listen, I'm playing 9 SEC teams. I'm not scheduling anybody else." Before they do anything, cut the bracket down, before they do anything else, I think you'll see these big conferences being broke up before you see anything else. I think they might set a limit to, 8, 10 teams or whatever. They might set a limit per conference. And, hey, you're going to have to reshuffle. You're going to have to move. And it doesn't matter if you have a TV deal, a contract, of this or that or whatever. I think you'll see that before you see anything else.
I don't think you'll see that, because the NCAA does not have that power. You can think OU. No, you can think OU, and then back in the 80s were suing the NCAA for limiting TV exposure. They will sue them again.
Start putting stipulations onto how many teams can get in from each conference, and they'll make it to where you're going to have to.
No, here's what I think. Here's what I think will happen before that happens. These teams will say, NCAA, see ya, we're doing our own stuff. They don't need the NCAA. You want to be technical. The college football we watch, they're not an NCAA champion. That's the FCS. They are the true NCAA champions because they're in the NCAA and playing a thing. This is the college football playoff presented by blah, blah, blah. Like the BCS was the BCS champion. Before that, it was the Bowl Alliance champion and stuff like that. So if you want to get technical, it's not a true NCAA champion, but they are not going to break up conferences. OU's not going to go back to the Big 12.
Nobody said anything about going back to the Big 12.
But I'm saying,
talking about is they're going to start putting stipulations on it to where
they're not. Have to. John, they're not, because the NCAA already got sued in the 80s big time because they were trying to put stipulations on how much you can be on TV, how much money you can make on these TVs, and you can't.
The playoffs.
You can.
I'm talking about the.
You can't
stipulations on the
playoffs. The NCAA has no control over the playoffs, John. They don't. They have no control over anything right now. The NCAA is going to go away.
Committee is nothing. The playoff
That's
committee.
not the playoff committee. That's this college football playoff committee. That's not the NCAA putting a committee together. There's not one member of an NCAA board on that committee. Those are
No, they can't.
those are
They can't.
those are athletic directors. Those are presidents of the college. Those are
Yeah, because they
staff
couldn't be.
writers.
Conflict of interest at that point.
So the NCAA is going to go wayside. They don't have any control over this. They're way in over their head on this because if they had control over it, NIL would have went away. Well, they just got sued big time, and they're paying back money for the NIL. The NCAA is not going to be able to put any type of stipulations on this. It's not happening. There's too much money at stakes. These teams have too much power. I mean, and this goes all the way back to the 80s when OU was a big leading force of suing the NCAA because they tried to limit you to so many TV games a year. You don't have that power. If this TV contract wants to give us $40 million a year to play all 12 of our games on the season, you just got to stay right. I'm going to do that. NCAA, you have no right to tell us what we can do with our brand, how much money we can make. So the NCAA is not going to be able to control this. It is not. What would control it is the conferences getting together and saying, hey, we're going to go back to 8. We're going to go back to 4. We're only going to take the 4 Power 4 conference champions no matter what. That's what we're doing. But that's why it's going to 16. The NCAA ain't voting for it to go 16. The playoff committee, the commissioners and stuff, the presidents of the colleges, the conference commissioners are voting for that. Okay. Then that's why I think it's going to go to 24 and eventually go to 24. NCAA is not in power when it comes to college football. They haven't been for years.
So, how long do you think it takes till you get to 24 teams?
I think within the next 3 years.
You seriously think so?
I think by 2030 it'll be 24 teams.
Really? Like, how confident are you in that?
I mean, it's already being discussed.
Well, if we're millionaires in 5 years and it's not 2030, and
well, you know the lotto is drawn tonight. Let's see.
Yeah. Yeah. Funny thing about the lotto, I never buy a ticket, but I always fantasize about what I do with the money. I mean,
oh, absolutely. Me and you have conversations about that every time.
All the time.
Dude, can you imagine? That's always our question to each other. Okay. I don't know if I agree with you on the 24 teams. Now, I'm gonna say right now, it'd be beautiful. It would be amazing. Like I told you guys before, I went into a spell where college football wasn't a massive thing for me. And then all of a sudden this year, I got really, really into it. And I truly think, and I've said this before, and John probably gonna get upset about it, but being in the SEC absolutely makes a difference because we're playing Tennessee. We're playing even Auburn. We're playing Ole Miss. We're playing these teams. Number one, it's new to us, so it's cool. Maybe it gets old there in a couple of years. But we're going to these massive stadiums. We're going to really good teams. And it wasn't even OSU that I complained about. It was Iowa State, and it was Kansas, and even Kansas State and Baylor.
My boss can tell you that because he's had season tickets for so many years, and just the price he's able to sell his tickets for now compared to what they were when we were Big 12.
Yeah,
he can almost sell them and make a massive profit every game.
So, and what we've got to realize is because of this competition, right now we're 10-2, and which is amazing. We've had an amazing season, way over expectations. We're going to have some 8-4s, maybe some 7-5. Like it's going to happen because of the competition we're in. And that's where our fan base is going to have to kind of get used to that. But I say all that to say this.
Led Zeppelin said it don't get old. Even losing every Saturday is rivalry week.
Oh man, it's fun, dude. It's fun.
And that's how the Big Ten's kind of got a little bit. That's why they wanted to expand and everything. I mean,
yeah. But what I'm saying is this: now that we're in it and we're in the playoff, I think even if we weren't in the playoff, I'd be into this because of the league. But the playoff format is exciting to me. 16 would be even more exciting if they made it to 24, guys.
Well, you'd have 8 teams get a bye. The
Oh.
first two rounds would be conference games, and then your last 8 games would be the bowl games. You have
It
your
would be-
your fir- you have your 4 big bowls, and the semifinals are your 2 more big bowls, and then you got the national championship. So
it,
I think teams are going to push for that because you get 2 games on campus, even more money coming in.
You know what I'm more excited about? By the time that happens, Oklahoma State's going to be
it's
relevant
going to be
again.
ranked about 52nd. Yes.
Oh
No,
Lord, John.
I said relevant.
Oh Lord. Oh Lord. They'll probably be on their third coach since.
And that's the other thing, though. That's the other thing. If it was 24, guys, you're talking about you're losing 4 games, still having an opportunity to get in the playoff.
Could
Like,
you imagine
yeah,
if they had
you're
this?
still
If they
relevant.
had this system in place in 2011, we wouldn't have had to watch that stupid, boring game again.
Oh, I wish you would have got cooked to both of them.
Oh,
Alabama
I'm
and
telling you,
LSU would've
Oklahoma
cooked.
State would have
They would've-
raked them over the
What-
coals.
OSU would have got shut down.
There was no defense stopping that
It's
offense. I'm calling it.
it's oh, that's what everybody thought about Ohio State when they had Ted Ginn in them, and then they
Y'all
went and
got
played an
hosed
SEC
on your
team.
back, by
They
the
went
way.
and played an SEC team, Florida, and guess what? SEC showed up and shut them down.
Dead Zeppelin. Listen, when that was announced that we got paired up with Bama, I was absolutely shocked because I thought it would be Notre Dame or Miami. I thought I
Oh.
just knew. And when they showed Alabama at 9, I didn't even know.
100% with both of you. I think that's the first thing I told you, Ben, because I was at a wrestling tournament when they announced the bracket. I said, "Who did we get?" And you said Alabama. And I think my exact text back was, "We got screwed. We got screwed." Like Notre Dame, I don't feel like Notre Dame got screwed as much as us. Like, why did we get Bama again? I'm not scared to play him, but I'm thinking, dude, like, why are we getting the hardest first round game?
That's what I was about to say. It's hard to beat Bama at any time, let alone twice in a year.
And
Well,
yeah, because looky here.
No, they shouldn't, Dead Zeppelin. They should not.
Looky here. Alabama hasn't lost to the same opponent twice in the same season since 1893 when they played the Birmingham Athletic Club.
What is that?
That's an old school. Dead, you're right. Alabama could get hot and win the whole thing, and it's like a guy I saw on TikTok when they were talking about OU's. Like, do we feel like OU's the best team in this? No, but do I want to be the team to find out if OU's the best team in this? Absolutely not. OU only allowed 15 touchdowns in the SEC. The next closest were 9 touchdowns away. So if we ride that defense,
We
or
gotta learn how to score some friggin' points.
I was going to say, if we get any type of offense, OU could go make a run. But like you're saying, right, Deb, Alabama could go make a run. But what I'm liking about this game is Alabama's a little bit more beat up, and we're a little bit more healthier than last game.
It's just I don't even know what to expect. Like, you can't even tell me. I mean, somebody on the Facebook page was commenting and saying, Homer pick. Well, I picked Bama last time. Well, I'm going to pick him again. That's what this person said. I said, well, I commented and said, I don't blame you. Because I don't know. Like, it would not surprise me one bit if OU came in, made the game disgustingly ugly, and we win the game. It also wouldn't surprise me if Alabama beat us. Like,
I saw a guy today. He has OU going to the semifinals. He has us beating Indiana 16-13.
Stop it.
I swear to God, he says the only defense in the NCAA that's better than OU is that Ohio State defense. And he said the guy said he's really, it's hard pressed for him not to pick that as the national championship matchup.
Who? Ohio State and OU?
Ohio State and OU.
Oh dear.
Because of the defenses. I mean,
Didn't Indiana
Hey.
just shut down Ohio State's offense?
yeah, but what he's saying is Ohio State held Indiana to 16 points or whatever.
I
Like
understand.
Indiana didn't run away from them, and like you
No,
said,
but how many points
th-
did Indiana allow
this
Ohio State? That's what I'm saying.
this guy's point, and he's 100% right. This year sets it up for the dominant defenses because there is not an explosive dominant offense. Fernando Mendoza just won the Heisman. He ain't even thrown for 3,000 yards. I mean, So you got the best player maybe in college football is not even in the playoff. Like the explosive offenses, like the high scoring offenses. I think the high scoring offense was what, North Texas. They're not in this. I mean, so
No.
like it's not, and we're
And
kind of in it. We're
I
kind
saw
of
that quarterback's going to transfer to Virginia Tech. That's what I saw.
yeah. We're kind of in an era right now with this year where it's kind of leaning towards defensive dominance. And I mean, but I think that's to go to say with it's more spread out. There's really not no dominant quarterback right now. I mean,
Dad, though, reading that, I don't know that they feel pressure at all. That coach has them freaking
Oh,
thinking
he's
they can
so
run through a
great.
brick
I
wall.
love
That
Cignetti.
no,
dude, I'm
I
just telling you, Kurt
that
Cignetti is probably, if not the best, he's top 3 coach in the
I love
nation.
Cignetti.
so and Deb, I agree with you. It's like in this OU Alabama game, the reason why I like OU's playing with house money. We're in the playoff. We're happy with it. Ball.
And I was
Okay,
supposed to-
Alabama, and Kalen DeBoer. There's so much pressure on him. Kalen DeBoer, okay, he's been connected to Michigan, stuff like this. You're Alabama. You're not supposed to. You're supposed to make runs in these, okay? Well, then, like this guy on TikTok I was watching earlier, he says it also benefit. We won't be playing at Indiana. It'll be a neutral site game, okay? Well,
Yeah.
where are all these bowls? They're closer to OU than Indiana, okay? So, I mean, and our defense is just as nasty, okay? It's just the guy's point was he would not be surprised if it was an Ohio State versus OU play a championship game because this year leans more towards the dominant defenses.
I wouldn't be surprised if I wouldn't be surprised if OU messes around and wins some games because just because of the way it's been ugly this year anyway.
Yes, he does.
Yes.
It's been ugly this year anyway, and we're winning games that are ugly and disgusting, and we're winning in ways that we probably shouldn't. I mean, well, Dad could attest to this. When we played Tennessee, well, a lot of things had to go right, and they did for OU. Then we went down to Alabama. A lot of things had to go right, and they did for OU. Then LSU about comes to town. They're not great. I mean, and they come down about beat us because we were due to on off. We were just winning ugly. So and every single one of the announcers and commentary guys, analysis guys are like, if they make it ugly, OU's gonna win. And that's true. Like the uglier the game is, Brent Venables relishes that moment.
Mm-hmm.
So if Alabama comes out real quick and puts up 14, I'm nervous. Because that's not
It's
ugly.
going to be a little chilly. Road game for Alabama.
Was it Mac Jones back when Mac Jones was at Alabama? I mean, Alabama was scoring 20 points a game, but I mean, they didn't score a whole lot. But when their defense came and just absolutely smacked people in the mouth, again, I mean, the boring freaking Alabama LSU. I mean, 6-9, blah. But when Alabama was on top of the world, they didn't have a high-flying top-tier offense. They had the best defense in college football, and they let their offense just manage the game and score enough points to win.
What are you talking about? They didn't have high-flying offenses.
No,
Freaking won the Heisman.
No, I'm
before.
I'm talking before. I'm talking when they were scoring 20, 21 points a game, if that, and they were just their defense was absolutely
They were scoring way more than that. They had Mark Ingram win the Heisman Trophy and stuff like that. Like, AJ McCarron and the other kid they weren't a freaking Bryce Young and Tua or Mac Jones like that, but they were putting up points. Now, was it 50-something a game? No, but they were scoring 30, 40 points a game.
They weren't going out and lighting up the scoreboard in these big games. In these big games, it was a very low-scoring game because they ran the ball, they ate up the clock, and their defense absolutely owned the other team's offense. That's how they were winning.
Sound like OU.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that's what
exactly what I'm talking about. That's what you guys have to do. You guys are
that's
built
what
the same.
That's what we've been. That's what we've been doing too. And I think Venables actually say, hey, we're just going to go ahead and punt the ball away. Don't worry about it. Just go ahead and punt it away.
Right.
hey, we can kick a 50-yard field goal. Go kick it. If we miss it, hey, we got the defense to stop it.
So we're here, AJ McCarron. We're here right now. It's time. Oklahoma Sooner, Alabama Crimson Tide prediction time. John, since you don't have a dog in the fight, give us your prediction and why you came to that prediction.
Well, I'm gonna again. I don't know why, and I can't. I got OU winning. I think it's going to be a 21-18 game. I think it's. I mean, you're not going to see 41 points put up by a team. But I think just what I was talking about a minute ago, your defense is going to come out and it's going to play the way they know they can, and I don't see it going any other way.
By the way, before Mosley picks his prediction, you just become more handsome every time you say OU winning. I
He
mean,
probably feels better about himself too. Probably feels like a better person every time he says
makes
that.
me feel like I got to go soak in a bleach bath.
Probably makes him feel good.
Now, every time he picks OU, they lose. So I'm a little nervous now. But Mo's knows
I
prediction
picked them
time.
last time.
Yes.
I got OU winning 24-13. Reason why I'm going that is because Alabama has no run game. No run game. No threat of a run game right now at all. So unless they developed one the last couple of weeks, and like I'm sorry, I think OU's going to be able to shut. I don't think Ty Simpson's going to throw for 300 yards against us like he did last game. I think OU is going to play better in the pass. And a big key that we got back in this game, our Mason Thomas didn't play in the first game.
Mhm.
He's playing in this one. Our best defensive player is back. Okay, and we've got healthier. I think the offense is going to look better. I think the receiving room.
You went real muted there, boss.
Well, I think OU's got healthier. I think our receiving room's got healthier, and I think you're probably going to see a little bit more out of John Mateer. And I think the offensive play calling has been real conservative because I think, we got the defense or whatever. Well, I wouldn't be surprised if we open it up a little bit.
What he said was he's not surprised that we're going to open it up a little bit because John Mateer is healthier, is what he's saying. So,
before you, I do know one thing. Alabama is wishing they would have their new fresh recruit this year or this week.
I will say this: if OU beats Alabama, I think Kalen DeBoer takes the Michigan job.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. They're kind of a mess.
DeBoer's
right now,
not going anywhere. Listen. If he takes that job now, he looks like a clown and will get absolutely blasted on everything because he's done come out.
Okay, I don't think he cares, John. I don't think. Yeah, he came out and said Lincoln Riley came out and said, "I'm not taking the LSU job." Well, next thing you know, overnight he's going to USC, a job we didn't even think of.
Well,
I don't think he cares. I don't think he cares if he looks like a clown. I think like Deb said, like he's got the worst job in college football right now. I think it's like, hey, let me go take this Michigan job. Michigan's still a really good job. I'm going to come in and clean up the mess that Shamar Moore did. I'm not following a legend. I'm following a guy that they want to forget. So let me come up here. I'm better. I mean he's winning at Alabama, but I just feel like the pressure. It's always hard to follow a legend. It is always hard to follow a legend.
Ded Zeppelin said he's going to go with Bama. I think he's saying he's going to go with Bama because he cleans up the turnovers. But he did say if DeBoer loses twice to Boomer Sooner, they're going to be howling. I've got my sister and my brother-in-law live in Alabama. Ded Zeppelin. So, and he's a massive Alabama fan. My sister's an OU fan, so they always fight back and forth. Okay, so the spread has went back and forth to 1.5 in favor of Bama, and then OU. It's back to OU. OU 1.5. It's 51. It's not going to be terrible. 51 on Friday night. I just weirdly. I think OU wins. I can't explain it. I picked Bama last time. I just think they do. I know all the metrics are against them. They played ugly last time and still won. Alabama's never lost twice to the same program and since 1893. Alabama looks like the better team. Blah blah blah. I hear all those metrics, but watching this OU team this year, stuff just doesn't make sense. why they win. It just doesn't make sense. Nothing makes sense. So that's why I'm going to pick OU. It doesn't make sense. But I'm
You
gonna
know, the
pick OU.
last time we had a dominant defense and kind of came out of the blue out of nowhere and had a quarterback that was kind of beat up through the year was 2000.
Yeah. So I'm going to say Oklahoma 24, Alabama 20. Now the real question is, what I said 24-20 Oklahoma. What did you guys say?
I said
21-18.
24-13. 24-13.
24-13 for Mose, 21-18 for John. Real question is, the total is 39.5. We going over or under?
Under.
See, my prediction says over. That makes me nervous.
It
So
ain't David's
I'll say
finger,
over,
you
but I'm
can
not
do
putting
it,
no money
and
on
Congratulations, undefeated IU.
it. Yeah. So anyway, there's that. And the other games, Texas A&M and
Deb said
Miami.
under too. I think Miami pulls the upset.
Miami pulls the upset over A&M. What do you think, John?
I got to go A&M.
Okay. I'm going A&M too. A&M is 3.5 at the moment.
So
where's the
sneaky thing about A&M? Okay, well, they lost one game against Texas. They beat Notre Dame. Go look at A&M's SEC schedule, and I believe it was all the bottom feeders of the SEC.
Mm-hmm.
Every single one of the bottom feeders. So A&M's a kind of a blinded 11-1. So I think they are one and done in the playoff.
But they beat the almighty. Who was it, John?
Fighting Irish early in the year,
and
we don't talk about
Miami beat the almighty who?
Fighting Irish.
I'm just saying.
Go U. Great documentary on ESPN. The U.
Just saying. So I'm gonna go A&M. Do you think they cover, John? 3.5.
Yes.
I do too.
I think Miami wins by double digits.
Are you kidding me?
Well, somebody get this guy
give me
checked out.
score.
He has hit his head.
Give me the score.
34-17. I don't think I'm telling you. I will openly admit I was kind of blinded by A&M. Like, oh my gosh, they might be the best team in the league. And then when you go and look at their schedule, I'm like, oh my gosh, it was gift wrapped to them.
Double digits.
And they had to come back and come back from 30 against South Carolina. I think Miami is going to go there and win by double digits.
This dude just hit his head.
Yeah, I can't go there. But what's the score? Give me the score. You said 34-17?
34-17.
God dang, you didn't just do double digits. You went friggin' okay, John. A score.
I think it's going to be a 7-point victory. I think it's going to be a 28-21.
I think it's going to be 37-28 Texas A&M. That's okay. That's a big, bold statement there. Double-digit win for Miami. Mark that one down. Tulane and Ole Miss. Don't spend too much time on this. Score.
Yeah, Ole Miss.
Ole Miss 34-14.
I was going to say 41-10. So,
I don't think. Yeah, I don't think they get in the 40s. I'm gonna say 34-20. I'll say 34-20. And then Oregon, James Madison.
Oh, is James Madison
42-14.
James
Madison.
Surprised if Oregon don't win by 40.
That would be crazy if you predicted that.
Oh my God, 42-14, and it happened. Oh, I would love nothing. I would love nothing better for James Madison, Miami, OU, and Tulane to all win. Right. Chaos. When it comes to stuff like this, like the NCAA tournament, my bracket, like
Yeah.
Hey, my team's not in it, or I love chaos. Let's just go all out chaos, baby.
Oregon's gonna score 48 points at least. I think
Yeah,
48
I
to
think
Easy.
Oregon's going to
17.
run away with it.
Yeah, 48-14, 40. I mean, yeah.
Man, oh man. Well, there you go. There you have it with the college football takes there. That's
Oof.
crazy, man. Let's switch it up for a minute. Let's talk about this. You're throwing a comedy party. Give me your 3 that you are taking out of these 12. I've already thought about this because I've seen this.
Well, the first 2 are no. Like I'm taking Richard Pryor and Bernie Mac 1, 2, and then I'm my third guy. I'm taking on Mike Epps at number 11. There, I'm taking him, bringing him. That's my 3: Bernie Mac, Mike Epps, and Richard Pryor.
Man, that's tough. I mean, like
on fire, like Richard Pryor, baby.
Listen, you're talking about the conversations of these dudes.
Yeah,
Dead Zeppelin,
that's exactly. Dead Zeppelin is right there where I'm at.
I'm big on thinking that Bernie Mac's the funniest guy ever walked this earth.
See, and I like Chappelle, but I'm going to toss up with. It's definitely Eddie Murphy for me. Eddie Murphy is going to be one of my 3. Richard Pryor, and it would be between Chappelle and Bernie Mac for the final 3. But I would probably lean to Bernie Mac.
See, I'll tell you on this list, I don't like I like some of his movies, but I don't like Eddie Murphy as a comedian, and I don't like Chris Rock at all. But I mean,
Steve Harvey said on it, they made him do a Mount Rushmore, and he said Richard Pryor and Eddie Murphy should have their own rock.
Exactly.
They should be their own thing, and then we can do the Mount Rushmore.
Mm-hmm.
See, and that might just be me not ever seen much of Eddie Murphy's first stuff, comedian stuff. I mean,
Dad, you're a 100%. Yes, you need to do what Dad's saying here. Go look at some of the old
specials, and probably need to because I mean,
the guy is an absolute comedic genius. The guy,
and I love Dave Chappelle, but I just like Mike Epps, Bernie Mac, and Richard. But Dave
favorite.
If I have to take Mike Epps out, I'm probably putting Dave Chappelle because I love the Chappelle show. Like he is.
100%.
I'm going Richard Pryor for sure. That dude, just the way he talks, his mannerisms, the stories, it absolutely just, I can't even imagine. I would spend hours talking to that dude, okay? But then my other one, my favorite comedian on this entire list to listen to a stand-up is Dave Chappelle. And he's not even in your face mannerism type dude. He's just so, and he speaks so intelligently.
Yes.
With his comedy. I love Dave Chappelle. Now, I don't necessarily love it. I like the Chappelle show. I did. But his sketch comedy's good. But I like his older, not his older, but his newer stand-up when he's an older guy. Right. I watch those Netflix specials. I can't tell you how many times. I think they're so funny. But I think an underrated one here, guys, because Steve Harvey also said he thinks the funniest guy that he's ever just talked to in conversation is probably Cedric the Entertainer.
Yeah. Ced was good.
Now, think about that conversation.
You said a name a couple of times I saw on this list that should be on this list. It's Steve Harvey, too.
I would pick Steve Harvey 100% if he
was absolutely.
If he was on this list, I'd pick Steve Harvey. My top 3 of Steve Harvey's on this is Bernie Mac, Steve Harvey, and Richard Pryor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love the dude. Cat Williams would be definitely probably 4 for me. That dude he's hilarious.
Funny, but here's my thing. He's really funny. But have you watched him in when he's talking to Shannon Sharp and when he's talking to Theo Vaughn? He's real weird. Like he gets what I'm trying to say. He gets real I don't know.
Who's number 9? Who is that?
I don't know who 9. Dad, do you know who number 9 is?
And who's number 8?
Hey, that's Cat Williams.
Oh, is that Cat? That just
Yeah.
looks weird.
That's Cat.
Okay, just a weird
Um,
angle. Yeah.
I wouldn't pick Chris Rock because I think his voice is annoying.
Yeah.
I've never found Chris Rock funny. I've never found him funny.
Now, hey, listen, some of his movies are phenomenal, but yeah, I'm not.
Yeah.
As a
an underrated one, which he's not really in it anymore. Chris Tucker.
Chris Tucker, man. Yep. Oh gosh. I bet he would have us just cracking up talking about Michael Jackson.
You was going to ask the same thing. Okay, so it doesn't look like Dad would know. Yeah, no, he doesn't know.
Yeah, but so what are your three?
Richard Pryor, Bernie Mac, and then I'm gonna change from Mike Epps and go Dave Chappelle.
That was my three too. When I looked at it yesterday, that was my exact three. Can you imagine?
I love Chris Tucker movies. I love Mike Epps movies. They're just, and I love Martin Lawrence's movies too.
Martin Lawrence would probably be a good pick.
Oh, hey, honorable mention, Red Fox.
Oh, Red Fox would be absolutely.
I knew you would love that.
Red.
Stop. Red Fox. Red Fox and Richard Pryor together. You could just give me those two and I'm done. I mean, golly, guys.
Well, I love comedy. And I've said for years that at the Oscars, comedy needs its own category.
Oh,
yeah, it is. Because the comedy movies are not going to win the best film.
No.
But they need their own category.
Kind of like
in the following.
Kind of like I think horror movies need their own categories. Like I'm not a big fan of the paranormal stuff, but I love horror and I love comedy. I love it. Yeah. I love the thrillers and the actions, but the comedy and horrors are two of my favorite type of genres. And I mean, I love to laugh.
What's your guys' opinion on Kevin Hart?
I like his movies.
Yeah, he's funny. I mean,
what's the joke? He does every movie, but there always is the movies that you're like, I could watch it, I could rewatch it. They're not going to win anything.
They're not going to blow your socks off. They're going to be funny, and it's going to be good entertainment for an hour and a half. And
didn't he do The Wedding Ringer? I've watched that a few times. I like The Wedding Ringer, but it's goofy, but it's fine.
He's just, some of the stuff he says is so dumb, but yet it's so hilarious.
I'm not necessarily a fan of his stand-up.
No.
Now I tell you what, over COVID, I forget which platform he was on, Snapchat I forget, but I remember I watched a lot of him during COVID. He put some good stuff out, but yeah, if I had to go to a comedy party, Richard Pryor for sure, he'd be the life of the party. Bernie Mac would have us just.
Oh my God!
My stomach would be sore.
I'd probably die of a heart attack laughing so much.
You better have a whistle, a bell, or something. You gonna be a dead mother.
Football.
1 round heavyweight fight. 3 minutes. 3 minutes. Quit all that yelling. 3 minutes.
Bust the move.
Better get yours. I'm getting mine. Come on.
Bust the move. Man, when you can do a sketch about just mother effer and just for that long, just say it however many times, and everybody's cracking up. I mean, you're a comedy genius. What was your three, John?
Richard Pryor, Bernie Mac, Eddie Murphy.
Richard Pryor, Bernie Mac, and Eddie Murphy. Well, I can't knock it. Just real quick, I want to touch on this because we haven't really touched on the NBA. We're not massive NBA fans, but Wemby won the NBA Cup semifinals and then act like he won an NBA ring. Chet Holmgren on Victor Wembanyama, is how you say his name.
Yeah.
Now, Thunder, that was their second loss. But I have got to have you guys explain, or at least give me your best guess on what in the heck is the NBA Cup.
I thought you were going to say, what in the heck is Spike Lee doing here?
No. So the NBA Cup, I think, because this is like the NBA they're not even in the enticing part of the season. Like Christmas Day, I think Christmas Day is kind of where you got the big Christmas Day games and stuff, and then it's like most of December and January is kind of a dead part of the NBA. So the NBA Cup, I think, is a part of the NBA creating it where every team's part of it, They break it up into 6 groups, I think, or whatever, 8 groups, something like that, or 4, something. I don't know. Every team's part of it, and then every group's winner plus 2 wild cards go and play in the playoff, and all they're getting, all it really is an extra cash prize that they're getting to win. The champions get a cash prize. So all it is more money, and I think it's a way to bring a little bit of excitement to a kind of a dead part of their season or whatever. Because I think they saw that, hey, our viewership's dropping a little bit during this time or whatever. But one thing I will say about this is I cannot stand the courts that they play on.
I was fixing to say the complete total opposite. I was about to say the coolest part about it is some of the courts. I think they're cool.
When I see the highlights, or it might pop up on ESPN, like, it is not intriguing to me at all, the course that they're playing. I'm like, it's like, what are we doing? What are we doing here?
Yeah, I think some of them are neat. I mean, obviously, it's just maybe it's they're different. I don't know.
Explain to me how it even works with how do they all play the same amount of games in the season if they're playing a tournament right in the middle?
Because if I remember right, when this happened, was that there's designated games throughout the season that are considered
designated for games. Yeah.
So they make the regular schedule throughout 1 to 82. And then there's designated games throughout the schedule that are cup games that go towards.
So I think they play 4 or 6 games in the first part of the season that count for it, and then that's when they determine the top 8 that go to it. And then when you get to the semifinals in it, that's when you go to Vegas, whatever. First round games are played at the home court of the higher seed teams, stuff like that. And then they set up the schedule where if you make the NBA cut, I think they'll add games onto this at the end of the year for the teams that didn't make it. Like, hey, you get a home game here or whatever. It's just.
I just don't understand it. I don't. Is there a benefit?
They're kind of going to go to something like this for their All-Star. There's going to be like a little tournament or something like that. I literally think it is just to try to get more eyes on the game. It's because you think about it, we're in December in NBA, which I'm not a big NBA fan, and I know you guys aren't either, but we're in December. The NFL is king right now. College football is king right now. You got the NFL races tightened up. So the NBA, this is one of the down parts of the NBA and on the viewership and stuff. So I think it's just a way for them to get the pump up some assignment or whatever.
Do they get a trophy? What do they get? A trophy, a banner? What do you?
They get a trophy. They get a trophy and some money. I saw the interview with Jalen Brunson that he was going to get like $500-something thousand. What are you going to do? And he said, I'm going to split that among the training staff, treat them to some money. Because they're putting in the work and stuff like that. So it's just a trophy, and they're pretty much just playing to win money.
Yeah, it's participation awards.
I still don't get. It just doesn't make sense to me. But it is what it is. But good on them. Good on the Knicks, I guess. Congratulations.
Yeah, they finally won something.
I don't know. I don't know, man. But I did see this. Oh. You have 2 scholarships. You need a point guard and a small forward.
Okay, so before we go into this, are we picking what they were coming out of high school or what they ended up being in their pro career?
I'm assuming.
No, we're talking about what they're college. Yeah.
Okay. So what the college? So your forward is going to be Carmelo Anthony coming out of college, coming out of high school.
100% correct, Dad.
So Carmelo Anthony is your forward. Mm-hmm. You got 2 forwards, or you need 1?
You need 1 point guard and 1 forward.
Yeah.
Okay. So Derrick Rose and Carmelo Anthony's my 2.
Yep, that's exactly who I have.
Well, because you're looking at what they were coming out of high school and going into college.
Look at what Carmelo Anthony did as a freshman.
Yep, they won a national championship. Derrick Rose led Memphis to the national championship, but they squeaked it away in overtime.
Yeah, I mean, the career out of those bottom four is Blake Griffin but he stayed longer than those other three.
Because he was there
Those
longer.
other three. And the
But
best career out of those top four is Stephen Curry, but he stayed longer than the other ones.
But do you remember how good that Beasley was?
Oh, Michael Beasley was a machine.
He was a machine. Hey, he says still yet to this day there's nobody that can beat him 1-on-1.
He at Kansas State.
Yeah, well, how many marijuana joints has he smoked when he says that too? I mean,
listen, and then Blake Griffin coming out and just elevating OU to relevancy. That was crazy. And Carmelo Anthony, what he did there, and then I mean he beat OU when we was the one.
You got Jay Williams, Steph Curry, Derrick Rose, and that's John Wall, correct?
Yeah, that's John Wall.
Michael Beasley, Carmelo.
I'm gonna pick Durant, Kevin Durant, for my small forward, and then my point guard. The one they're wanting to trick you into is Steph Curry. But here's the thing about Steph Curry was we didn't hear about Steph Curry until that last year.
Yeah, exactly.
Until that run. Yep.
So it's like I'm not going to pick him because he obviously wasn't the best player for 3 years. It was that fourth year. He came out as a senior. He stayed for 4 years, didn't he?
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm trying to convince myself to pick against you guys. That's what I'm trying to do. It's just really hard when Derrick Rose is sitting there because that was just ridiculous.
I mean, my second choice would have been Jay Williams. I mean, and if it wasn't for a motorcycle accident, Jay Williams may be the biggest name out of all 8 of these guys. But that's just how his career went. Yep. I mean,
I will go Derrick Rose and Kevin Durant. That's what I will go. And you two are going.
Derrick Rose, Carmelo,
Anthony,
and Melo.
Okay. Good old days. Bet Dad can attest to this. You guys remember this?
Yes.
Kids will never understand the value of the Sunday newspaper.
Derrick was the truth for about 15 minutes before he got hurt. You're 100%.
Dad. But Derrick Rose took an MVP away from LeBron that he shouldn't have got.
You guys remember this? Though?
LeBron should have been better.
Oh man,
this was the greatest.
Some of my favorite things to do. Even just not when I first got in the workforce, working at a high school and stuff, like 2005 and stuff. In the break room, I remember just getting the paper and just going and reading the local sports section because it's just, and then your national sports section, even just reading about the local high schools and stuff like that going on. That was my favorite part. And then seeing the standings and the batting averages and the home runs of the pros and stuff like that and the box scores. This is an art that our kids will never get experience, and it kind of hurts my heart a little bit.
I remember going to church, heading from Veneta to Catoosa, was where our church was, and Dad getting a newspaper, shouting sack, reading it, handed it to me halfway, and me just opening it up. And that was a Sunday paper, so you had all the NFL. They made it real beautiful. Had all the NFL game previews and the standings and all that. And then you had the baseball. You were just entranced, man. It was like it was like holding a laptop.
Deb said that in those days it made baseball seem more relevant, which is, I mean, true.
I mean that's how fantasy baseball was created, was the getting newspapers.
Yeah.
The box scores.
To me, that's something that's not talked about enough and nostalgic is the sports section of the newspapers. Some of the best childhood memories and best things to look forward to. I mean,
so good, guys.
National, local, everything. I mean, it's just great.
Oh, so me, the newspapers around here, anytime that we got one, it was before I even looked at this, I went straight to see the GOAT. To look at the stats for Veneta Little League and how Ben would just be throwing shutouts and shutting everybody down.
What are we talking
about? And say, well, no, John, I'm glad you say that because I was going to say something not necessarily about Ben, but I remember youth football, whatever. I go score a touchdown or make a tackle, my name's in the paper, get it cut it out. Our kids don't get as fair as that. Like John, you probably did a little bit because you're older. Like if everybody doesn't realize, John's way older than me and Ben. He's probably about to have grandkids and stuff. Yes. He's probably about to have grandkids, or me and Ben's probably ways away from it. John's going to be called grandpa pretty soon, most likely. I mean, probably within.
I'm going to guess within the next 4 or 5 years. Okay, or me and Ben's not even close to that. But
4 or 5.
John, you probably been able to do this or cut out things for your kids. But me and Ben with our kids, because they're younger, unless newspapers making miraculous comeback, we're never going to have articles that we're going to be able to cut out for
now.
Kids.
I will tell you, there is a local company here, Mr. Austin Brown. What he does is for all of his, clients, right? If there is anything that is in the newspaper that their kid has done, he prints out this congratulations deal and he cuts the article out of the paper, no matter what it's about, puts it in and laminates it, and then mails it to the home address. And I mean, they come in a pretty good size envelope. It's a pretty good size deal. It's a newsletter. I mean, it's a pretty cool thing that he does, and he sends it to them. So between Braden, travel ball years in high school and whatever, we've got probably 15 or 20 here in his closet. I would have never thought to do anything like that, but that's something he does, and it is cool. Super cool.
But yeah, it's lost art for sure, man. It's fantastic times. I always remember that big old fat Sunday newspaper folded up and
100%.
Dad throwing it out. It's gonna be great memories of just Dad with that newspaper. So I thought I'd bring that up and get your guys' opinions. Just a few more things before we close this thing down. I want to talk about this. This was a podcast on the podcast The Shop. And it was Chris Paul talking about where he went from $151 in his bank to, I think it was $20,151. And it was whenever he signed with an agent. And basically what he was talking about was him having to grow up and the moment that he grew up as a very young man. And he said that was the moment he remembered when he grew up, because what happened was he talked to his agent. They offered the $20,000, blah, blah, blah. And he said, man, I was young. I just wanted to go see. I went to get a bank statement. Went up there and looked at my account because I had $151 in it the week before. Scanned it and it said $20,151. And I knew right then, oh man, I got to grow up. I'm growing up right now. So he said, what I do, I immediately loaded my boy up and my girl, and we went to the mall. And I said, go buy you some outfits. And that's what I did. I spent my money. He said, but from that moment on, I realized I am going to have to grow up quickly. Now, we always wonder, like, why these professional athletes go bankrupt and how they fall on hard times. But this incredible story of understanding that $151 in his bank account as an 18-year-old, and then all of a sudden, a week later, $20,000.
I understand it completely, because I'm not going to lie. Whenever me and my wife have extra money, it's no longer, hey, are we cooking dinner at home? Like, hey, where do we want to go eat at? Hey, what do we want to go buy? It's just something about it. And like this guy behind me, Travis Kelce, on his podcast with his brother, he talked about his first year, and he got his first NFL check and stuff. He wasted it. He talks about how he kind of struggled paying rent his first year in the NFL, and that it kind of made him realize, like, oh man, like this don't last like I think it lasts if I keep on doing this and stuff. I mean, so yeah, like a lot of these guys that make it to the pro elite level, they're coming from environments that they really weren't taught how to manage money, or they came from a place of not a lot of money. So it's like, you get that money, you're like, man, I got money to spend. And then you don't realize, like, oh man, like my lifestyle's changed. It costs more to live like this now compared to what I'm used to and stuff like that.
Yeah. It's, John, what do you think?
Man, it's, obviously when you're young like this, you don't know really the true value of a dollar anyway. Because unfortunately educational side of it just isn't there, because most of these guys here, now there are several of them that grew up that had parents that had money, but how many of them were actually being taught the value of a dollar? Not very many. I mean, that's something you don't learn. You learn the hard way. It's basically, hey, sink or swim. See ya. Bye.
Well,
this right here, this is a great example of it. He goes from having zero, $151 in his bank to $20,151. And now he's like, oh crap. Okay. I got to figure this out. I got to do it,
Well, depending on how Chris Paul grew up, he might have had someone like me or I'm not saying me, but like what I do for some of my football boys. Chris Paul may not have parents never had to pay a dime for the leagues he played in, or had to pay for a meal or a ride, because these people saw the potential in him and said, hey, we're going to invest our time into him so he can get to that level. So don't know what type of life he grew up, but that's how a lot of these athletes are. So when they do get money, you're like, it doesn't even hit them like, oh, this stuff costs. It does this and that, like, because they probably saw people that saw something special in them from a very young age, and those people were just good people and took the time and said, you know what, we're going to help this person succeed and just not worry about it. I mean, they don't have to worry about it, and they get that big money, make it big, and they're like, oh my gosh, I don't know what to do. I mean, we talk about how it would be easy or whatever, but it's probably a big culture shock. Like, I mean, we talked about the other day, like, could you spend $8 million? Like that's just life changing money and stuff like that. Like it's your whole life, everything you know, and the way you live is just changed instantly. I mean,
yeah. I just, I mean, that not only that, but the money that goes into it, but also the having to grow up in front of media and stuff. Can you just imagine how intimidating that would be as an 18-year-old kid speaking in front of the media when they're grilling you, and you're having to really grow up. So
that's why I have a lot of big respect for LeBron. Is he was knighted the king and the next great one before he even made it to the pros when he was a junior in high school and stuff, and he lived up to the expectations. Never had no scandals or anything like that. Just I mean, so like Chris Paul, like I mean, just the success. Like I mean, yeah, like it's a lot of pressure.
Was listening to another podcast or listening to this, and Jeff Foxworthy was telling a story about Truett, I think's his name, the Chick-fil-A
Mr. Truett, yeah.
And he was talking here, and he grew up in his hometown. Was in the first Chick-fil-A ever was in his hometown, and he remember talking to him and mentioned. He had mentioned to Jeff Foxworthy, hey, Jeff, do you know how you can tell when somebody needs encouragement? And he said, how? And he said, if they're breathing. He said, everybody needs encouragement. Now, if you've ever been to a Chick-fil-A, you understand that the morals and everything that they do as far as training their employees is very much like respectful and my pleasure and all that. But how true of a statement is that?
I mean, 100%.
No one's got it all together.
No, you never know what people's going through. You never know. I mean, especially, me and being involved with these youth kids and stuff in the sports and everything. It matters. Like our behavior of how we treat these people, it matters. Like it matters. Like growing up, you just want someone to like, hey, like, and that's a lesson I've learned. Like in. My older boys, sometimes they didn't get that cushion that my younger kid gets or whatever. But, I've learned over those times, and it's a hard pill to swallow. It's like, you know what? These boys don't need to hear me being upset with their performance or how they're doing it. They need to hear like, hey, you know what? I love you, proud of you. Just like, hey, keep it up, man. I mean, because we're not, no one's perfect. You never know. Like it's okay. It's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to fail. Like, I mean, so like I saw this too. Like, I think you're the one that shared it, man. And I watched it and I think it popped up on my TikTok too. It's like, hey, go encourage someone. It doesn't, you never know. Like we need encouragement. I need encouragement at times. We all do. Like, hey, you're doing a good job. You're a good dad. You're a good person. Like it makes you feel good. It does. It makes you feel good. Like, I mean, Like, I mean, I understand. Like, I mean, why women love getting dressed up and love getting made up or whatever, because when you tell them they look pretty, it makes them feel good. Well, like us, like, hey, you're doing a good job. You're doing a great job coaching these kids. That's how they feel when we tell them, hey, you're looking good or whatever. Like, it makes you feel good about yourself, and it's nice.
Yeah. Rapid fire. Luis Ariz has probably been offered a 2-year, $20 million contract by Arizona Diamondbacks. This offseason has been really slow so far for it. What it seems, the 3-time batting title champion Luis Ariz does not have the market he may have been expecting. There's a reason. Just like I said in fantasy baseball this entire time, he's a one-trick pony. I would take him on my bench is where I would take him. I'm not surprised that that's the offer.
No,
so if anybody's surprised because he can hit good, he doesn't get RBIs, he doesn't get runs, all he does is get average, doesn't strike out, he doesn't walk, but he gets average batting average and hits. He's not even impressive in any of the other metrics. So no, I'm not surprised at that. Are you?
No, not at all. That's actually probably more than I would pay.
Yeah. I didn't even thought about free agents. I didn't even think about him being a top 50 free agent out there.
No.
Yeah. I mean, it just is what it is. You can hit all you want, but if you have scored 70 runs, maybe 60 RBIs, and you do nothing with the speed category and don't walk, you're on bases.
Dependent on he don't even get stolen bases.
No, he's literally hits. He gets singles.
Just single king, baby.
Single. Would you rather have the Dallas Cowboys' future or the Kansas City's future for the next 5 years?
Dallas Cowboys.
Kansas City Chiefs.
Explain.
Well, we got the best quarterback in the NFL, maybe the best quarterback of all time. And, I mean, might be getting a top 10 pick.
Weren't you just saying that it's time for a complete teardown?
Let's do this. You have 1 minute to explain your reasoning. John, go.
Well, right now we've got the number 1 offense in the league all the way around. We've got a young offensive line. Sorry, bud, but top 2 quarterback in the NFL. We've got the best wide receiver group / tight end group in the NFL. Offense is ready to roll. Defense, we're missing a defensive coordinator and a cornerback. Sorry, maybe a little bit of help in safety, and that could be taken care of this offseason. You're 1 or 2 players away on the defense from having, and a coordinator from having, an NFL or a Super Bowl caliber defense, just like we have a Super Bowl caliber offense. We're not that far. Sorry. Chiefs, your tight end, 80, fixing to retire. Quarterback, well, sorry, bud, you're on downhill slope. Receivers can't stay healthy and overrated. Offensive line in shambles, can't stay healthy. Defense, where's it at? It ain't been there all year. Sorry, bud.
Mosby, go.
I'm muted. You muted me. Oh, you unmuted me? Okay. One word, Jerry Jones. That's why the Cowboys don't have a good future to look for. One word, Jerry Jones. The Chiefs have the better general manager, the better roster builder. Well, they got the better athlete, the better quarterback, the superior. John, if anybody that sees it, John thinks Dak is the greatest thing there is. Like, I mean, every other Dallas fan I know said their exact words, they will not win anything with number 4 as their quarterback. And Dak has proven he ain't winning nothing. He hasn't won nothing. So John can ride that Dak train all you want. But, a couple of years ago when they were the favorite, Green Bay took him out. Jordan Love excelled and put him over and put himself over Dak right there. But you got Patrick Mahomes. He's only 30 years old. He's still going to play another 9-8 years, okay? You got the best trade piece that either one of these teams have, okay? You can trade Trent McDuffie. You can franchise him and sign him. You got – hey, John says good offense line for them. Cool. Okay, we got a good offense.
Hey, listen, you want to say best trade piece? George Pickens is 10 times better than McDuffie ever thought about.
You guys got 20 seconds to argue with each other. Go.
You don't have George Pickens signed, John. You don't have him signed.
All we have to do is tag him. We can franchise tag him. We can do whatever. We've got him under control for 2 more years.
You can't afford him. Pickens is gone. Pickens is gone.
The biggest franchise.
You know why I know. You know why I know. You know why I know. You know why I know Pickens is gone. You know why I know Pickens is gone. Who has checked out the last 2 weeks? George Pickens. He is gone.
Pickens will be paid
But again, like you just said, Jerry Jones, that is the reason, and you counteract yourself a better future. You did nothing but gripe about Jerry Jones. We're doing nothing with Jerry Jones. Last I checked, he's still controlling everything.
But
That
look
is
what
the
he
number
look
one
what he
reason
did.
why. That is the number one reason. Look what he did. He did not improve that defense, like you said, because that defense is the reason why you're eliminated from the playoffs. You are done, John. You are done. If
You're telling me right.
if
You're telling me
John,
right now. Hold on. You're telling me
if
right
you are
now
looking at
that he did not make that defense.
Woo! How about that? We're going to start ending this. My final thoughts is I'm so thankful to have these two amazing friends that will argue about a tree talking to them. I mean, they will go back and forth, but I'm very thankful for them. Very thankful for my friendships. And I guess my final thoughts are, man, hoping OU does miraculous things here Friday. Hoping the Carolina Panthers beat the Buccaneers, and I'll be on Christmas break here after Friday, so that's always exciting. Get that 2 weeks off being a school teacher. That's always a big bonus. So be great to spend time with family and friends and do all those things, but really to get a break. So very thankful for everything that's in my life. I'm very blessed, and go Sooners and go Panthers.
my final thoughts are, you know, it's rebuild time a little bit of roster rebuild, and a little bit of rest time. Go get those draft picks, get a higher draft pick, maybe tank these last 3 games, get a top 10 pick. You know, you got the offensive line future already set with your draft picks. Let's go get an edge rusher. I truly believe we are an edge rusher away from being a dominant team again. I don't think we need to do much on offense. Maybe a running back, okay, or you resign the ones that you have and make a commitment to run the ball more. Like when John says, "Well, didn't you just say that you need systematic changes?" Yeah, on the coaching staff, not the roster. The talent's there. Yes, any NFL executive, the talent is there. They are a talented team. Let's make a scheme change. Let's make a scheme change. Let's go get us an elite pass rusher. That is truly what I believe that we are missing is an elite pass rusher where we can keep Chris Jones in the inside. Go get another elite edge pass rusher. That is truly what I think we need. It's sad. It's misery right now. We're out of the playoffs. First time since 2014. Been a long run. I think the Cowboys only been in the playoffs maybe twice in that time period. Pitiful organization that Jerry Jones runs to the ground. But you got Patrick Mahomes. He's not going anywhere. The guy's already shown that he's going to attack this. He does not want because I saw statements like, "Oh, they should keep him out in 2026." He's not going to allow that to happen. He's already proved that by within 24 hours going and getting this knee repaired. I just saw an interview today with the Buckholzer, our main trainer. He says Patrick is coming back on Friday and they're going to start his rehab. He's already done a little couple of rehab sessions, but he's going to be back in the Chiefs facility on Friday, and he's going to be attacking the rehab. They think there could be a good chance that he is back before the first game. But at worst, he might miss the first 4 games if he's on the PUP list or whatever, the PUP list. But the guy has proven that he's coming back. He is going to attack this. He's already had surgery. So you still got number 15. This year did not go our way. We couldn't win a close game, but it's got couldn't rush the quarterback, couldn't run the ball. We got to go that. But as long as you have number 15 on your team, you're always going to have a chance.
No matter how much you love your friends, you still realize how big of idiots they really are. Anybody who says that Jerry Jones hadn't improved that defense, that just shows how uneducated they really are. I'm just going to say that. Done. Anyway, all that nonsense he just spoke, talking out his ass. So anyway, yeah, love your friends, love your family. Big week for college football. Unfortunately, not for Oklahoma State. It's going to be fun. I'm ready to see who's going to win the national championship. I still think it's going to be Indiana, but we'll see. College basketball ramping up. Oklahoma State finally giving us something to look at. NBA. I don't know what that was. NBA until baseball starts up. So can't wait for the offseason ramp up. See what the Cardinals do. See how bad they fumble the bag this offseason. Anyway, let's go.
Oh my goodness!
That's right there, and I just won the moment he come up. So,
man, oh man. Well, that was fun. That was another successful one in the bag. Next week, we're going to really think about what we want to do there because it's going to be Christmas Eve, and that would kind of be frowned upon, I think, with the wives. Well,
Yes.
2 wives.
I was about to say wives.
John's not a married man. He won't tie the knot. It's pitiful.
She's ready. She's told me so.
Hey, she's got the ring. She'll be all right.
Might see us again in 2 weeks. I have to take next week off.
Hell.
Yeah, we might go Monday. I don't know. We'll see.
We'll figure
something out. Yeah. So anyway, anything else, boys?
Thank you, Deb, for commenting on our live. Thank you. I mean,
that's
everybody. We're going to go live every week and on YouTube, Kick, and Twitch. Make sure. I mean, that's where you can find us during these episodes. But follow all our socials.
Everybody go find the TikTok so we can get to 1,000 followers so we can go live there.
We just got to 400.
Yes, give us feedback. We don't care if it's negative, positive. We will respond. Like we love it. I almost think
he likes it.
I think I almost like the negative feedback more because I like to come after people a little bit. I like them to come after me.
Yeah, I've got a speech impediment according to Facebook.
So yeah, I know. We're sorry that Ben didn't dress up as a clown tonight for that guy. So I mean,
it's close. I mean, the only thing he's missing is a red nose. He's got the hat and the shirt.
It's true. This is a shirt made from one of my coworkers. She does tie dye. She's very proud of it. So there you go.
So I got one question because Ben likes to dress up. Are you dressing up as any character for your Christmas thing or whatever?
Just did today. I did the ugly Christmas sweater. I actually ran a game show. I had a naughty and a nice stocking attached to my Christmas sweater. I had them roll a die, and if they rolled a 6, they got to pick a gift card out of the nice pouch. If they rolled anything else, they got to pick a random stuff I got at Dollar General yesterday, or they got to do a task, which involved them doing stupid stuff around the school today. It was a great time. I don't know how my mind gets to these things, but it was a great time last night playing.
That sounds pretty fun.
It was fantastic, yeah. So, I will never ever beat Marv a couple years ago.
That popped up on the thing. Marv was unbelievable.
I nailed it. That one will never be beat. So,
and what was that? What Home Alone was that based off of?
That was a combination of both of them, actually. I used elements from both, but the best Home Alone is number 2. So,
just finished watching that last night.
You kick rock if you think otherwise. So you just don't know what's good.
Home Alone 1.
Yeah. Oh, John. God dang.
God.
Anyway, see y'all later. Have a great week.